You are a council of elders in a remote village. A dragon has managed to steal all the nursery rhymes and folk song from your people. The magic spell that he has cast has even erased the lyrics from your memories, but not all of the melodies. Your community is devastated because these are the tools that you use to record your culture and history and pass it on to your children. But all hope is not lost. The dragon likes riddles and honor any bargain that he agrees to. He is demanding that your council will write a new tribute to the virtues of the dragon. In return, if he is pleased, he will return your heritage to you. If he is not pleased, he will take it out on your village with fire. Past tributes have included great speeches, songs, poetry, and riddles. He burned the last village that tried to write a play. You now have 25 minutes to solve the problem of how to respond to this situation and report back to perform the dragon. Use the PMOPS model to help you.
Okay.
Wait, so he stole our, what? The dragon did what?
He stole like our heritage in like songs.
But we still remember some of the melodies.
Yes. We deleted the lyrics, but we still have the melodies. Some.
Okay.
And we need to make some sort of tribute to this dragon.
Otherwise, he will wipe out our village.
Right.
And the tribute has to be what?
A
In reference-
speech or song, I think you said.
Cannot be a play because the last village that did that, he didn't like the play.
So is the tribute to the dragon, or is it
Yeah.
regarding our culture?
I think it's a tribute to the dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to like please him.
Because we've like
Okay.
lost our culture.
Okay, so do we know anything about the dragon's interests?
Fire.
Fire, probably.
He seems to have a big thing for famous speeches, I think he said.
Okay.
What was it? Speeches, songs,
Poems.
Poems, yeah.
Riddles, too.
Right.
Good. Okay. So I guess that gives us options for what we can come up with.
Right, okay. So we have to come up with a format first.
Okay.
Want to see which one you guys have in mind?
Well, out of those choices, like the
Yeah.
speech, maybe the easiest would be a poem.
I think I like a poem.
A poem could be good.
We could have like each villager like write a little section of it. Maybe.
Yeah, the more people that contribute, the better it'll be.
Right. Yeah.
And it definitely has to be something that would be of interest to the dragon, so that when we're presenting it to him, it has to be. It can't be something like insulting towards him, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
So is a poem definitely the best option?
I like poem.
Poem speeches would probably be too long.
Too long? Yeah. That would be more of an independent thing.
Right.
Wouldn't bring the whole village together.
Riddles would kind of be fun though. They keep him like entertained and engaged in the whatever we're doing or presenting.
That's true. I'm not really sure if I know how to come up with a riddle though.
No, I'm not clever enough.
So maybe poem. Let's stick to that. We've been doing those since kindergarten. We got this.
We can do a poem.
So I guess the next thing would be to decide what type of poem.
Oh, okay.
Like a haiku might come off a little too minimalistic.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
need something more substantial.
We didn't try that hard.
Should we rhyme? We can rhyme in our poem.
I think we should probably rhyme. I like rhymes.
Yeah, I like the rhyming poems.
And everyone could come up with like a couplet, and
Yeah.
then it would grow if we have our villagers contribute to it, so it would be substantial and entertaining.
It's a good idea.
We could also put some music behind our poem. Spice it up a little bit.
Using some of
Yeah.
the melodies that we remember
Exactly,
from
yeah.
the songs of our heritage.
That's true. Maybe it'll jar some memories back
It
about the
might.
words.
Yeah.
How long would this poem be? I mean, if we split it up, I mean,
Right.
among the villager people, like it would be too long, so. I guess-
So maybe everyone can contribute to a certain section of the poem.
Yeah.
Group
Yeah.
people together
Yes.
and have them
Yeah.
work on one part.
Depends how big our village is, but
Yeah.
I feel like people, we should do like 10 people per set. That's a lot of people. Maybe 5.
5 is probably good.
I think it's a pretty small village.
Yeah.
100 people village.
Yeah. probably close to that.
So we can figure out who knows the most about dragons and their interests. And use them to guide us.
But we should probably break them up into sections and have like heads of each of the like sections of the poem, and then, you know, decide what topics we want to have covered in this and
Right.
work it out from there.
And those heads can also like have the final say on like everyone's input. They put it together to like actually make the final product. That way it's not all messy.
Right, be more contained and.
Consistent.
Will we only have like one person presented to the dragon, or will we have like the different heads of like the different sections presented?
I think it was that what we agreed on, like having like groups present the couplets or lines or
I
whatever.
like that.
at a
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, because I think most of the village should be involved, since
Right.
it seems like the dragon likes, you know, big ceremonies and stuff, so if we all came together, I think he'd be more willing to listen.
Right.
We just have to be careful that it doesn't become a play.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like the plays.
I think that's a good idea to have the whole village presented, because we want to, I'm sure all the villages want their village to be saved. It shouldn't just be one person representing.
Also, we all care about our heritage, so it's like we all come together to save our heritage.
And then if something bad did happen, it's like we all either win together or we all.
Fight fire together.
It shows a certain level of dedication.
But it's, you know,
Actually-
we're in this as a village, so.
That could be a negative side to doing it as an entire village, because that way we're all in one spot to die.
It would be an easy attack.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Maybe we should keep some of the, us, the elders, maybe we should hang back.
Some higher ranking people hide out.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
That's horrible.
It's for the good of the village though.
Should probably keep some women and children, you know, behind.
Right.
That's basically just put all the men in,
Yeah, just stick the men
in
can
line of
present.
fire. So I guess you would have to come up with things to talk about that would be of interest to the dragon.
So we can, I think fire's a good start.
Fire. I like your idea of putting music in it.
Yeah.
I think dragons like treasure.
I'm sure they
Like
do.
that in Lord of the Rings, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Treasure.
Well, do we know why the dragon took our lyrics and our heritage? Does he have like some interest in our heritage, or he's just doing that to spite us?
That is a good question because his
Yeah,
motives are
interest.
important.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It seems spiteful to me. I don't think he's interested in our culture.
Okay.
Agreed. I think he's just taking over, being intimidating.
Okay, then we won't talk about our culture.
No.
It would have been easier to find out a motive.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about how nice he is being and giving us this opportunity to get our culture back.
Flatter him. Good
Yeah.
idea.
Exactly.
Maybe give him, we should definitely propose reasons for why he shouldn't be burning down our village. Maybe things that are more beneficial to him, like why waste the time, waste your fire
Waste
on
the
our
fire,
village.
It's limited.
Gotta save that stuff for bigger and better things,
Right.
like the village next to us, just not our village.
Yeah, we can give him some sort of offering,
Yeah.
maybe. Some
Sure.
sheep or something.
Show them why our village is such a great village to keep around. One of the better
Maybe when we give him this tribute, we can have like a big celebration for it, like a dinner,
Yeah.
or like a banquet for him, so he feels like welcome.
villages.
Or like even if we had to like do some kind of offering every year where like, you know, he lets us keep our village if we like do something for him, so it's kind of like a compromise.
It's gonna be
Right.
kind of like a holiday.
Yeah, sort of.
Every day of whatever, whenever he decides not to burn down our village, we can
Right.
make the holiday for him.
That might give him a little more reason to let us stay.
Agreed.
Build something for him to burn down. Just appease his needs for burning.
What do dragons like to eat?
Assuming they eat meat, I just don't know what type of animals. Maybe we have to get that from him. Find out more about his appetite.
I'll have to do some dragon research.
Right.
Well, it seems like we have pretty open communication with the dragon if we're, you know, negotiating things with him and, you know, writing this poem for him, so, you know, maybe we could talk to him before we actually get
Come
this
up,
whole
yeah.
thing.
That'd probably be the best. That way
Yeah.
we're not making any mistakes.
Right,
Mm.
right, because one mistake can cost you the village.
Yes.
We can form a committee for the dragon communication, just to make sure we're staying on top of all
Yeah.
his needs.
A liaison.
Definitely, I think, I like the idea of the committees, definitely have more committees for, like, we say we wanna get our village, like, looking nice for the presentation for the dragon, and kinda have like a cleanup committee.
Right. The more organized we are, the better, more smoothly run it'll be. Better chance we have of keeping the village.
We need to make sure we cover like every possible topic, like make sure that there's nothing that could potentially like slip through the cracks.
Right.
Definitely have a number of rehearsals, because we don't want to just be winging it and then have us mess up, because that's our last chance.
Oh, yeah.
That is true. Maybe we should have like at least one director for rehearsals, at least making sure it's all running. Who knows something about poems, poetry.
We should definitely do a research on poems, like, and not just like, oh, I think I know how to do a poem.
Right.
Just do a horrible one and then he doesn't like it. Like, back up our thing with like citations or resources.
He'll probably ask for that.
But I think we need to decide what kind of poem we're going for, like if
Right.
I mean, I know we're planning on doing the rhyming, but is it like entertaining rhyming, like are we trying to please him that way, or are we trying, is this more of a serious thing, because you know, serious poems can rhyme too. but-
Right. I think he might like it more entertaining, just
Yeah.
from what I'm gathering about this dragon.
But not too much where it seems like it's a play.
Yeah, not like a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to decide how much we want it to lean towards a song rather than just a speech. So we could give it a tune, or we could just have regular spoken word.
Yeah, we need to like maintain like seriousness about the whole thing, but still have it be an entertaining
Right.
night, I guess, when we present this.
We don't want to risk being off key when we're singing.
So are we agreeing that it's gonna be like a singing poem? Or is,
No, I think we should stay away from singing.
okay, so no singing,
Too musical.
okay,
It's too close to a play, which it
Yeah.
doesn't.
right.
Yeah, we could just have like the background, like some instrumental
Yeah.
music, maybe
Some
just,
acoustic.
Some melody.
yeah.
Any certain tune in mind that might appeal to this dragon?
I like his idea with the acoustics, like maybe like light guitar in the background or something along those lines.
Whenever I think of dragon, it makes me think of like medieval times, like that kind of music.
Yeah, maybe like a piano then, maybe like something like that.
Some big
Like
drums.
Some light drums, yeah.
Light drums can work.
Yeah.
Should we protect ourselves for this dragon in case he doesn't like it? Like, wear armor.
And we should probably have some sort of
Have some backup
evacuation plan or something in case things do go wrong.
That's a good idea.
Definitely an evacuation plan, because maybe we can get, even if he doesn't like it, he's gonna burn the village down, maybe we can get some people out,
Right.
so not everyone dies.
I don't think he could get our whole village, like, in one shot. Take a few breaths of fire.
I like how, I think, when you guys mentioned that, having, Aaron, I think you said it, with having like mothers and their children like stay behind.
Right.
That's good.
I mean, I think they should still be there, at least
Right.
in some respect, or, you know, some vicinity of it, but,
Maybe the women and children come for the dinner, and then we're gonna present, and they go back and get ready to evacuate in the worst case scenario.
right.
That's good.
And where will we host this, like, in the center of our village, or where do we think we should do it? Should we hold it, like, right outside of our village?
Right outside of the village might make it seem like we're trying to stop him from burning down our village, so
That's
maybe we
right.
should invite him fully in.
Okay. But I mean, there are risks to that, obviously,
Yeah.
but if we have an evacuation plan, I think
Maybe not
we're,
the center of the village, and maybe one far end of the village, so that way the people leave on the side, that's where we can put the women and children, all the way to the opposite end.
Yeah, that's good.
okay,
I like
yeah,
it.
that's good.
So we'll have to come up with good location, and we also want to come up, I was thinking of, I mean, we're gonna have to provide food, are we having everybody in the village make something and bring it kind of as an offering before we give our poem?
Yeah, and that could be something, not to be like sexist or anything, but that could be more like over to the women and like children could more do the food prep, and then if the men are presenting, then it would seem like our whole village came together for this thing, because the women might not be as present when we're presenting.
Right.
So,
Good point.
I think we should assign leaders to each aspect of the tribute, so someone can, watch over the food aspect and the location, whatever. Then the actual poetry aspect.
So we'll definitely have to do our research before to find out what kind of food might appeal to the dragon.
Right.
So then we can plan from there. I mean, like maybe he likes dessert, or maybe he just likes appetizers, or maybe he likes a full like 5-course meal.
whatever he wants.
And back on the topic of music, since we're researching for the dragon, we should find out what the music he likes if we can. If we can research that too, just so that could, cause problems.
Is there anything else that we might have to find out about dragon interest?
We have to make sure we know how large the dragon is so we are sure we can accommodate him.
Right.
So that would be an awkward problem to have.
Yeah, I think we should probably research like what kind of dragon he is, which I mean would also include the size, like you said, but then just how dangerous he could be. So we are preparing for the worst.
Maybe it would be a good idea to find out what the village previous to us, what they did wrong, because they
That's a good idea.
obviously made the dragon mad or didn't please him enough. So we want to top that.
Learn from their mistakes.
Find out if there's any villages that have survived the dragon.
Take tips from them, yeah. That's good.
And maybe see why he would want to take our culture from us.
Mm-hmm. Finding his motive is definitely important if we can.
Yeah.
Right.
If he's willing to give that up.
And then, I guess when it gets closer, we'll have to figure out our evacuation plan. And we were talking about this before, like getting everybody to give like the poem, but then we were talking about like people staying behind. So what do we want to put a number to it? Like give a certain amount of number of people, like structure it that way, or?
I think that you're talking about the people staying behind, right?
Well, that and also the people giving the poem. Like, do we want to say we want to have 50 villagers giving the poem?
We should have as many villagers ready to evacuate without making it suspicious. That way we're saving those people, but we're also not setting off any alarms.
And I think with the people who were involved with the poem, I mean, some of them may happen to be women and some may be men, but I think they're probably going to be the people who are presenting, at least the heads of the different committees for the poem. So they can be there, and then we can see what the number turns out for that, because I don't know how long the poem is going to be yet. So as that goes, we can see how many people are there, and then we can add a few more, because I think, like you said, we can't make it look suspicious.
Right.
If we can make it look like, people are going back to their homes to do something in preparation, but
Maybe to put the kids to bed or something
Yeah.
along those lines.
Yeah, we could decide on a length of the poem, maybe, I don't know, no longer than 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, we don't want to lose his attention.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe keep it short,
10 to 15 would probably be perfect.
yeah,
10 to 15.
I like that.
And should we have individuals reading parts of the poem at a time, or should we have people reading it together? I guess think.
Probably depends on the section. Like there might be one part where whoever wrote it, it's like a very strongly worded section, and like it might be like a lot of like we're trying to show allegiance to the dragon, so we might have like collectively people say it, but then other parts might just be like the heads of the committees or just other villagers.
I feel like it should vary based on the poem we give them.
Maybe the last verse, have everyone read it together or something like that.
Yeah. Or especially, did we decide if we wanted to talk about the importance of our culture or steer away from that and just focus on the dragon? And
I feel like we should steer away from it since we're trying to get our heritage back. You'd probably think like, oh, they're really enforcing they want this back, but I'm going to keep it.
Right, we need to show that we're important enough for him to not burned down, but we don't wanna like stress
Mm.
our heritage so much.
Yeah, maybe we'll like demonstrate the value of the individuals over like trying to flaunt like our great village.
Makes sense. And definitely in our poem propose what we could sacrifice for him to let us have our village. Like
Right.
propose the idea of the holiday for
In the poem?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, smart.
So overall, the poem should be more about him and like
I
what we
think
could
so.
do for him so he could give us what we want.
Make sure we flatter him well.
As much flattery as we can put in there without sounding cheesy or
Right.
fake.
we don't want to make it obvious that we're kissing his butt.
Cause that's just as deadly.
Right.
And then any idea, do you think he would make a decision as soon as we end the poem? On whether,
I don't think we should pressure him to ask. I think that we should just read the poem and gauge his reaction, and if he wants to stay and continue celebrating the banquet, we'll keep doing that, bring out more food, wine, whatever we have.
that's a good idea. I think we should plan to continue as you said,
Right.
continue celebration. And maybe like, you know how in dinner you have whatever your main meal and stuff, and then during the break, I don't know if you guys ever go to banquets or anything, they always have like speeches after dinner but before dessert.
Right, that's probably
So
perfect.
plan to
I
have
like that.
dessert or plan to have some kind of continued celebration after.
So are there any consequences or like benefits to our plan?
I think the poem's good because it's not too flashy, but it can still be entertaining.
Yeah, like musical theater, like a play could be too over the top for his taste, apparently. And also, along the same lines, maybe a song would be the same thing, so.
Only consequence I think of a poem would be if it were like too slow for him, that it's like boring him and he's just not having it. So that's why I do think that it shouldn't be too long and that it should be somewhat entertaining.
Yes.
The music will help.
Yeah.
Make it more interesting.
Mm-hmm. Sets the mood for it.
And I think we've covered having the evacuation plan is good to get as many people out, because obviously just having a dragon in our village is gonna be somewhat of a danger, so.
One thing we could also do is to like try and calm the town by like spreading the word, like everything's gonna be okay, just to calm people down so there's not any panic or
Right.
nervous reactions at the dinner, no one's ruining it.
Yeah.
I also like that we're doing research like before this, like for like the banquet, for instance, like how much food he wants, like you were saying, because then we don't want to like deplete our like surplus of food or whatever. We don't want to like give up all of our stuff so our village ends up dying anyway, even if it gives us our heritage back.
That's true.
I think in thinking about the number of people that we have for the banquet or like giving the poem, the benefit of having a lot of people there is that it shows that like we are all supporting this and we all want to save our village, but then also the consequence of having a lot of people there is it could get confusing, we could mess it up, you know. If you've ever tried to give a speech with a number of people together, one person's like going faster, one person's going slower, and then the speech just doesn't really sound as strong. So I think figuring out how many people we want to speak at once is an important part.
Yeah, you don't wanna ruin the tempo of the poem.
Should we hold a town meeting to discuss this with everyone and make sure everyone's on the same page?
Definitely. But I
Yeah.
think first we should do the research.
Yeah.
Like, I think that should stay between us at the moment, and then once we're ready and we're like educated enough, we can go and have a town meeting and talk about, you know, keeping calm and what the plan is.
Teaching everyone else everything we've learned.
Yeah.
The more prepared we are and we like brief the town in the meeting, then the more like calmness or comfort there will be around
Yeah.
the town instead of panic. So definitely do the research.
The town definitely needs to be in the know. We can't just,
Mm-hmm.
you know, let them not hear anything from us, but so once we're prepared to share with them, I think we should.
Also, us being prepared gives us confidence, and like they'll feel our confidence, and it'll help them be at ease with the whole plan and situation.
Yeah, like you said, I think it's important not to make everyone afraid of what's happening so everyone stays calm and, you know, gets it done.
Yeah, because one person panicking can cause widespread
Right.
chain reaction.
That might make the dragon angry.
Yeah, we can't have that.
So steps that how do we, also want to ask this, how do you think we should plan on finding this research? I mean, guessing that I don't know if we have internet access, like.
We could send people to other villages, or we could find out from other people what villages have survived, maybe send some of the higher ranking members of the society, so they can do the research.
And then if we have the dragon liaisons, they can talk to the dragon and find out what he likes. So I think the combined research
Okay.
between going to the dragon and the other villages, I think covers it.
And we could check our library for dragon books. I'm sure we have a few of those
Yeah.
dragons running around our
Definitely.
country.
I think if we can also get in contact with people from past villages, especially the one that he burned down last, we can also talk to that person directly and find out what they might have done wrong.
Should probably start writing this poem.
Yeah.
We also, need to figure out how much time we have.
Right.
Because we might, if we only have a week, then we should probably start deciding on leaders and writing some poetry. Okay, so in conclusion,
So in conclusion, we're gonna create a poem for him as a tribute. We're gonna do our best to research everything that we possibly can about his background or what he likes, so we have the best chance of surviving.
So there are certain steps that we want to organize the steps that it will take leading up to the speech. So we want to definitely do our research first, and then once we are fully informed, then we can take it to the rest of the villagers and present that to them. Should we also then divide up committees?
I think that would be the next step.
Yes.
Make sure we have good leaders over every section to make sure everything's, and maybe meet with those leaders, periodically to make sure everything's staying.
Right.
And then we want to practice the evacuation plan, as well as the presenting the overall speech and the coming together of this banquet, I guess we want to call it.
Tribute.
And I think if we have like one director, like somebody said earlier, if we have one director who's, heading it, where he's just watching and making sure that everything flows well, and that he can also head the evacuation plan maybe, and just make sure that we're prepared for anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
I think we're good.
perfect.
Ready for this dragon.
He's not gonna take our village.
Good job, team.
All right.
Very good.